Welcome back to the Talking Hedge. I'm Josh Kincaid, and this is your Cannabis Business Podcast. CBD's been stirring up a lot of buzz, so we're going to jump into the 2018 Farm Bill and find out what's next for hemp. There's new rules and business opportunities from nationwide legalization. The recent signing of the Farm Bill removes the plant cannabis sativa from the Controlled Substance Act. It's also forcing the USDA, or U.S. Department of Agriculture, to come up with some national hemp regulations, allows states, territories, and Indian tribes to submit hemp growing regulation plans to the USDA with no deadlines for doing so. The plans must include THC testing procedures, including inspections done at least annually, bookkeeping procedures to keep track of land approvals for hemp cultivation, and plans for effective disposal of hemp plants with too much THC. And it's supposed to guarantee that hemp and hemp products can be moved from state to state and imported and exported in the same way as any other crop. But just ask Idaho how well that works. What the Farm Bill does not do is give states any guidelines about regulating hemp manufacturing or processing. It guarantees interstate commerce for products containing CBD, not just the molecule itself. It limits U.S. Food and Drug Administration authority to ban CBD from foods, drugs, and cosmetics, which the agency has done, and explains whether the clause guaranteeing interstate commerce for hemp products affects the FDA's ability to limit CBD use in foods, drugs, and cosmetics. The hemp-derived CBD market has soared in recent years, but a lack of data regarding existing hemp-derived CBD sales combined with many unanswered questions about how hemp-derived CBD will be regulated and sold makes it difficult to accurately predict sales. But after extensive conversations with lawyers, regulators, analysts, executives, and entrepreneurs in the hemp and CBD industry, we've made a few key assumptions to guide our estimates. Products containing CBD will likely appear on the shelves of mainstream retailers such as Target and Walmart, but the selection will be limited. CBD is an active ingredient in the FDA-approved drug, and the agency has made it clear that selling food or dietary supplements containing an active medical ingredient remains illegal. It's less clear, however, how the FDA will treat non-ingestible products containing CBD, such as lotion or conditioner. The rollout of products containing CBD in national retailers will be slow. Although hemp-derived CBD is no longer a Schedule I controlled substance, CBD derived from marijuana plants containing more than 0.3% THC remains federally illegal. Any national retailer selling a product that contains CBD will want absolute certainty that CBD was derived legally, which means they'll likely buy only from sophisticated domestic manufacturers with strict quality control standards. It's not clear how many CBD manufacturers currently meet such criteria, and these relationships take time to develop, but it's likely well short of the number it would take to support a national product rollout. Existing CBD retailers and manufacturers will likely benefit in the short term. Current CBD consumers purchase highly concentrated tinctures, edibles, and vaporizers, a far cry from the type of product containing CBD that are likely to show up in traditional retail outlets. This benefits existing CBD retailers that are willing to take the risk and sell products that the FDA still considers illegal, allowing traditional retail outlets to function as something of a marketing platform for CBD in general. Crucial components of the 2018 Farm Bill have yet to be finalized, and several key questions, such as how long it will take the U.S. Department of Agriculture to issue regulations on industrial hemp cultivation, and how aggressively the FDA will enforce restrictions on CBD in food and dietary supplements, remains unanswered. Here's some hemp do's and don'ts. The door's been flung wide open to new business opportunities, but you don't want to throw caution to the wind and harvest your life savings in a new endeavor. So here's some things you should keep in mind. Buy federally backed crop insurance. Terms are much more reasonable for FDA-backed crop than for a crop with only state-level protection. Read FDA guidance closely. If you're making a food product, follow all federal and local food production guidelines. If you're making a dietary supplement, follow the FDA's production and marketing rules for dietary supplements. Advertising, your social media marketing and traditional display advertising has been stymied for years because of those channels hesitant to make money from an industry deemed illegal under federal law. The end of hemp prohibition means that newspapers, TV stations, and social networks have no legal barriers to accepting hemp dollars. Look for proven genetics. Kentucky and Colorado have researched the best hemp cultivars for CBD-rich flower production, with those varieties legal for sale in any state. Apply for other aid. The 2018 Farm Bill streamlines existing USDA programs to support beginning and socially disadvantaged farmers and triples the spending on those programs to $435 million over the next 10 years. The new Farmer Opportunity Training and Outreach Program gives new farmers help completing loan applications. Keep meticulous records. Hemp is now legal, but marijuana is not. Business owners at every layer of the hemp and CBD supply chain will need a paper trail to prove that products are derived from legal hemp. Don't think you'll get rich quick. Don't make health claims. Don't tune out. Don't ignore market forces, and don't play with the word organic, and don't link to any studies. Some investor insights. Before the Farm Bill was signed into law, the CBD sales were on pace to exceed $1 billion by 2020, according to estimates by Hemp Industry Daily. With this policy shift, rapid growth is expected as traditional financing and advertising ramp up. Thousands of chain retailers consider stocking products, including CBD-infused beverages, cosmetics, and pet foods on their shelves across the U.S. The bill's removal of heavy tax burdens and interstate supply limitations will boost investor confidence for an industry that's already gained keen interest among retail and consumer packaged good giants. Consider the landscape. In September, the world's largest beverage maker, the Coca-Cola Company, confirmed it's eyeing the CBD market. The world's largest retailer, Walmart, confirmed in October it's pursuing preliminary fact-finding as it considers CBD products in Canada. The Farm Bill also paves the way for Canada's largest public company operators to enter the U.S. market, a maneuver that firms can't try in the cannabis sector because of the plant's federal illegal status in the U.S. But in October, Canopy Growth spent $19 million to acquire Colorado-based Ebu, a research firm working on THC-free hemp. Meanwhile, investors can expect to see a flurry of activity among U.S.-based hemp and cannabis operators that will be compelling to gain market share and scale nationally. Stock prices of companies operating in the hemp and CBD industry oscillate throughout December, and investors seemingly undecided on how the Farm Bill will affect the business landscape. On December 12th, the day that the 2018 bill passed the House of Representatives, stock prices for Charlotte's Web Holding, Isodile International, CV Sciences, and GW Pharmaceutical all reached December highs. Those gains, however, proved to be short-lived as stock prices for all four companies steadily climbed the following week. So on December 20th, the day President Trump signed the 2018 Farm Bill into law, stock prices got a boost, which was erased the very next day after the FDA issued a reminder that it remains illegal to introduce food containing added CBD into interstate commerce or to market CBD products as or in dietary supplements, regardless of whether the substances are hemp-derived. The removal of hemp and CBD from the list of controlled substances is a major win for the industry at large, as companies should now expect easier access to capital, banking services, equipment, and qualified staff. But for individual businesses, especially those that have found success in the previous regulatory environment, the 2018 Farm Bill introduces a great deal of uncertainty. Sales of hemp-derived CBD products have largely been regulated as small or independent retail channels, such as e-commerce sites, cannabis and smoke accessory shops, as well as natural wellness stores. They've also picked up traction in alternative health settings, acupuncture, massage, and pain management clinics, for example. Hemp-derived CBD products fare less well in medical or adult-use cannabis dispensaries because of the competition there with cannabis-derived CBD and THC products. One area of explosive growth is natural food stores have had a 162% increase in sales of CBD products in the past 12 months. To date, mainstream retailers have mostly stayed out of the mix with some notable, albeit short-lived expectations. Now that hemp has been removed from the Controlled Substances Act, a mainstream retailer and consumer packaged goods manufacturer will want clarity on what they can do and can't do. But the absence of clarity won't necessarily stop some retailers from forging ahead and capitalizing on the market momentum for hemp-derived CBD products. Retailers have less product liability than manufacturers and are consequently more likely to take risks. Once mainstream retailers have some indication that dissonant states and federal regulators or federal intervention won't disrupt sales or jeopardize business, expect rapid growth in the number of stores selling these products. Mainstream retailers and beauty and department stores, Target, Costco, Walgreens, Sephora, Bloomingdale's, just to name a few, are more than likely to carry products that have established a brand name and have a record of manufacturing pesticide-free products that undergo rigorous third-party testing. A second wave of growth will happen when large consumer packaged good companies enter the mix. Think beverage, beauty products, supplements, and over-the-counter drug makers. Because of the increased product liability, manufacturers are more likely to hold out until the U.S. Food and Drug Administration provides some guidance on the hemp-derived CBD products. Mainstream retailers will control most of the market for hemp-derived CBD products, but the widespread availability of those products won't radically alter current consumer behavior. That's to say that if consumers shop in an independent natural food store and buy hemp-derived CBD products there, the sale of those products in Target or Costco isn't likely to change that consumer's buying habits. Yes, there will be some competition for specialized retail, but that already exists in the form of e-commerce. As availability and awareness of hemp-derived CBD products grow, expect moderate to strong growth in small specialized retail channels. Roughly 30 countries in Asia, Europe, and North America, South America already grow hemp cultivation. The United Nations Food and Agricultural Organization tracks global farming and reports that global acreage in hemp cultivation in 2016, the most recent year available, was 192,000 acres. The UN estimated total hemp production in 2016 at 355 million pounds. but those numbers are incomplete. Not all nations report hemp acreage to the United Nations. Among the producers left out of the UN's hemp count was Canada, where industry groups say about 138,000 acres of hemp were planted in 2018, Uruguay, which had almost 2,500 acres of hemp licensed in 2018, and Colombia, where acreage counts are not available. With those exceptions, global acreage counts in hemp cultivation in 2016 was 192,000 acres with a total production of 355 million pounds. Leading hemp producers are the European Union, China, South Korea, and Russia, with most production taking place in France, Netherlands, Lithuania, and Romania. Many of the Latin American countries that have been developing cannabis legislation have been cautious to allow cultivation and started with restrictive, import-only programs of CBD products, which opens the door for new hemp producers to enter the market. These include Brazil, Argentina, Paraguay, and Mexico. But legalization is evolving rapidly, and only Brazil has no plans in place to eventually allow cultivation. The Farm Bill is certain to trigger a global shift in cannabis investing. That's because US-based hemp companies now have full access to the largest, most prestigious exchanges, NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange. But will Wall Street create hemp giants that'll leverage their capital and competitive edge overseas? According to Preston Garner, an analyst with CVC Partners, U.S. hemp investors should expect the following: significant merger and acquisition activity, hemp activity in agriculture, pharmaceutical, and technology industries, and American hemp companies seeking a global edge through quality control. The last point could be the best way for U.S. hemp entrepreneurs to compete against larger hemp producers around the globe. Instituting quality considerations such as good manufacturing practices and standard operating procedures will be key for American hemp to find markets overseas. Key takeaways are that millions of consumers use cannabis globally, laying the foundation for a significant market opportunity. Surging investment into cannabis, especially by the CPG entrants of alcohol, tobacco, and pharma, will give market leaders liquidity to acquire assets and capture market share. The most professionally run and efficient operations are going to be prime targets for M&A activity in an increasingly competitive market. Technology will be key to building operational efficiency, including streamlining new product development, lowering production costs, optimizing the supply chain, and more effectively targeting and engaging customers. Cratering wholesale prices are remaking the economics of cannabis, flushing out the least efficient and undifferentiated operators. The growing number of U.S. multi-state operators highlighting the rising expectation of U.S. national legalization in the coming years. The cannabis consumer is not a monolith. They have widely varied reasons for consuming cannabis, creating significant opportunity for segment-specific products and marketing strategies. Product preferences are trending quickly away from flower, even in markets where cannabis is not legal. Medical consumers believe it works, but much more science is needed to understand how and why. And think global, build global, but act local. Aligning business strategies to reflect local political, business, and social cultures will increase brand resonance and effectiveness. And with that, we're going to roll this one up. I'm Josh Kincaid. This is the Talking Hedge, your cannabis business podcast. Like, subscribe, and share, or don't. And I'm out.